more, Bubba.
Yep, be careful, brother.
Back up.
Show your fucking face! Show your face!
Ice out of LA!
Ice out of LA! You are rounding up hard-working families when there are white supremacists.
What do you say? What do you say? What do you
You don't have a response to that? Commit mass murder.
Off the vehicle! Step away from the vehicle!
We're gonna make your lives shitty.
All protesters need to get off the street. Go eastbound. Along southbound on Lincoln here.
Oh shit, what's the deal, my boy?
Stay safe, fam. Stay safe. This is paramount.
No, wait, check. Let's go. California, going on the
It's looking like a war zone in parts of Southern California right now as clashes with ICE continue, with protesters finding where ICE was staging for their raids today, and they began gathering. And then there was physical fighting and several of the government's vehicles were damaged. You had some protesters reportedly throwing M80s at the federal agents and the feds throwing flashbangs at them. Fires have been lit and protesters are reportedly throwing cinder blocks. They also appear to construct barricades on roads to prevent the feds from using them. And I mean, the air quality in Paramount, California might be 50% oxygen, 50% tear gas at this point. And ICE, they're still expected to conduct more immigration raids today, and as they are driving around, they're catching rocks to the windshield as seen in this video. You also have the LA County Sheriff's Department out there trying to create some room between the people and the feds. You know, it appears like a fuse was lit in California yesterday, and now you have the feds appearing to be in hostile territory, and it seems like it's going to be a long day for them, right? And then with all of that, we're now seeing the government appearing to be escalating things. With, for example, Trump's Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, saying this is an insurrection against the laws and sovereignty of the United States. You also now have Tom Homan saying, quote, "We are going to bring the National Guard in tonight." Right, and that is on the other side of the country. New Yorkers are beginning to clash with ICE as well.
They just released a pepper grenade. Oh, I had to get out of the way. Look, they're all getting back. Look. Look. I got out of the way. Oh shit. Just in time. I got a little bit of it. I got a little bit of it.
Police are now pepper spraying. They're throwing stuff out here in the streets. They're blocking eyes, blocking the FBI from coming through. People are taken out here to the street. This could be another start of riots here on the streets of Minneapolis. This whole entire, about 3 blocks have been taken over by the people and by ICE and by law enforcement here. And now people have taken to the streets. People are yelling all sorts of things here at the police officers. So the police have left now. People are here on the streets. The police did get out. Looks like they're at another stop though. More people are running. Let's see what happens. It looks like law enforcement made it out on that side. However, there still is a bunch of police back here and more people are taken to the streets. People are running towards the police, throwing all sorts of things. You can taste the pepper spray in the air from the cops pepper spraying some of the people that were throwing stuff at them. Probably behind me, there's probably about 1,000 people here on the streets here in Minneapolis right now. What did you guys see happen?
They tried to drag somebody into one of them trucks. The people, when I pulled up, we pulled them out, blocked them off. I don't know if they got anybody, but they need to get the fuck out of here.
All right, we're going back to the main intersection. Looks like the police are clearing all out of here. This is where the ICE did come through. The streets are clearing out now. People are upset and all the news crews are here now. We're seeing what's happening here on the ground. Start talking to some of the folks. Must have been a bunch of illegal immigrants here. They came in here and took over. Now we have people out here with Abolish ICE signs, Immigrant Rights Action Committee. Let's see if we can find somebody who was here right at the start of the raid. Your hat says Abolish ICE. How many ICE agents did you see come through here today?
I saw FBI on vests, and I saw Minneapolis Police, and I saw Hennepin County Sheriff.
Yeah, because I guess I didn't see anything that said ICE. It was more
Right.
FBI.
Yeah.
So how many people did they take today?
I wasn't here when they took them. Apparently it was all Cuatro Milpas, and I don't know. These guys, some of these folks were here before I got here.
And how do you feel about ICE and the FBI coming in here today?
Absolutely bullshit.
I just heard you say this isn't Nazi Germany.
Yeah, this isn't Nazi Germany. These people are our friends, our neighbors. Hell, they probably bought tacos from you yesterday, and now they're here. They don't even have a reason to detain them, and they're grabbing them. They're not even checking their credentials. They could be legal, they could be illegal. Quite frankly, I don't care, but they care, so they should do it properly, if they're going to do it at all, which I don't think they should.
And do you think they should go out with do you think they should carry through the mass deportations with all the illegal immigrants?
No, not at all. I think they should, maybe like they say, look for the people who are committing felonies, and that would be more white people here than Hispanic people. So go after them, the violent criminals, not the masses.
And say they did come out here and they did do the research and they did find that there were some criminals here, illegal criminals. Would you support the raid then?
I would support individual due process of individuals, yes. Yes.
Awesome, thank you so much, ma'am. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I am on a Shinabe. My Mexican brothers and sisters have as much as right as I do to these lands.
Right on. Come here. Let's get over to safety, okay?
Fuck the feds! Fuck the feds! Fuck the feds!
This guy's here in the middle of the street in the intersection. Green lights, red lights. We're in the middle. Were you here when the raid took place?
Nah, but I heard about it.
How many people did you hear they take?
I ain't hear shit about who they took or what, but fuck them bitches.
I got a question for you guys watching this video right now. If you're one of the police officers and you're getting pushed at by the protesters, do you have the right to push them back and do whatever you want as far as protecting yourself or not? Yeah, who came through here today?
Everybody. National Guard, DEA, FBI, Homeland Security, sheriffs, police. They brought everyone.
So what kind of raid was it?
I mean, I don't want to say much, right? But I know a lot of owners here are involved in shady stuff, so maybe they were involved too.
So do you think it was more than just an ICE raid?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, DEA doesn't just show up for ICE, for raids like that.
So it could have been an ICE raid, also DHS, you had DHS, you had FBI
I think ICE was just here because they're Mexican owners. I think that's why ICE was here, but DEA, Homeland Security, FBI, they don't just show up for anything, right? DEA specifically only shows up when it's drug related. Homeland Security, I mean.
So we had the DEA here as well.
Yeah, everyone was there.
So it was more likely that it was an ICE raid, drug bust. There's a lot of things that could have been taking place here.
Because when I got here, it was all controlled in that area, in that block. And then like 20 minutes ago, that's when I started getting into full-on chaos. They were rolling down the street. People were throwing trash bins, cones, all this stuff. From what I was seeing, right, it wasn't just ICE. You had.
And where are we at right now here in Minneapolis?
We're on the corner of Lake and Bloomington. This building here, Mercado Central. But it all happened in that restaurant, Las Cuatro Milpas. That's where it all happened. That's when I showed up. They were inside mainly that whole block area over there. But
so the DEA, ICE, whoever it was, FBI went inside of that restaurant right there.
Yeah, when I got here, they're already inside. They were like pulling people out. I couldn't say how many people they brought out, but they brought out people.
So it very well could have just been a drug bust inside of that restaurant.
It could have been, yeah, or it could have been like money laundering, stuff like that. But it wasn't just an ICE raid. That's for sure. I can say that for sure.
And we just got all that information from that police officer here. So this could have been an ICE raid, a drug raid, a human trafficking raid. Could have been all of the above, because you had FBI here, you had DHS, you had DEA here, you had the police here, and you also had ICE here outside of and it sounds like it all took place here outside of this restaurant here, Las Cuatro Milpas. So there must have been something shady going on inside of here to bring all of that law enforcement here, and now people are taking to the streets. There's a lot of people out here. This could have been more than just an ICE raid.
Yeah, I mean, the people think it's nice. I'm not too sure. The one officer, FBI, said it's on the website it's a warrant for like human trafficking and stuff. But people are saying it's ICE, and ICE was here. They just kind of left. Took one van went that way, the other went that way.
So there could have just been a huge drug bust inside of this restaurant right here.
It could have, and it could have been an ICE, but I'm not too sure.
Could have been all three of them.
It really could have. If it was ICE, then, you know, it's sad. But I'm not too sure. I can't speak on it because I was just here for DoorDash, and then I showed up, and I couldn't get my order because, you know, people blocking it off. But
you ever have to move cocaine through this restaurant?
No comment.
Oh, wow, so it could have been everything here. Yeah, so all of these people, the news hasn't broken yet. We're here on the streets. All these people could be wrong in their misconceptions as to what actually happened. It could have just been a drug raid inside of that restaurant right there. It could have just been a drug bust inside that restaurant right there. We don't really have anything confirmed. Some people did say they did see some people taking people into cars and the vehicles, but it could have just been a massive drug raid here on the streets of Minneapolis. You were here when it first started?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Basically, the FBI raided Los Cuatros Milpas, and they put yellow tape all around, and basically the crowd grew, and we tried to get them out until nobody got arrested. Apparently nobody did get arrested. One person in the crowd did get let go after they got arrested, and now we're taking over the streets.
Say it does come out that there was like a drug bust or a human trafficking raid right there. Would that be something you'd be in support of?
I feel like that's never good, but at the same time, we're targeting immigrants at this point on the corner of Lake and Bloomington, which is already a very a hard neighborhood, you know, with the homelessness, the drug epidemic, all that, and I don't understand why we're targeting and taking tanks for a restaurant when apparently nobody got arrested, so obviously it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? So tanks weren't needed, guns weren't needed, and why are they intimidating the crowd? You know, I think they are not using de-escalation tactics; they're using threatening tactics at this point. And so I see why it heightened up, because you can't tell police how people react to seeing guns in their face. Because when you see a gun in your face, that's your life flashing before your eyes. So that's just how I see it. Yeah.
Because I mean, if it was a human trafficking raid, you hope they'd go through with that, right?
Yeah.
And get rid of the human traffickers.
Of course.
And the drug raid. So a lot of these people, they might not even know what they're. So a lot of these people out here might not even know what they're protesting about right now. If it was just a drug raid.
I think they're mostly just protesting the government and the police as a whole, because we're seeing time after time our communities getting raided. So really, what we're protesting is that in general. We're not really. It's more than just this place that got raided. It's how they're treating our people as a community, and that's what we're trying to get attention to.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you so much, and I appreciate your opinion and your info on what happened today.
Thank you.
Our street!
Wall Street!
Ours!
Wall Street!
Ours!
Ours!
Yours and mine! That's what I said! Ours!
Hey, let him go!
I'm a veteran. I love you guys!
Now the people have taken over the intersection. People are trying to come through right now. No one's able to get through. Sounds like it was either an ICE raid, drug raid, human trafficking raid. Nobody really knows at this point until further news comes out.
What's the Sheriff's Department's role in protecting the people of Los Angeles against federal agents?
No.
You don't have a role to protect us against ICE?
We don't have anything to do with what they do. That's a completely different entity of government. We're local police officers. They are federal agents. Totally different.
But if they come into your jurisdiction without your permission and attack your citizens, what's your role?
They don't need our permission to drive around. They're federal agents. They can go anywhere in the entire federal country.
So if they come into your community where you have jurisdiction and they're detaining people without warrants and they're detaining people without due process, what's your role?
That's fucked up, and we don't have a role. We go to calls for service. They do what they do, and we do what we do. We respond to calls for service when people have emergencies, when people have been robbed or need a report for something. That's completely different from what they do.
And what's more serious for people to be protected from than kidnapping and detention?
You can't. That everybody has their own problems. You're gonna say that my cat being stuck in a tree is more important than whatever's going on with anybody else in the world. We have to. It's a balance, okay? We have to respond to calls for service. Until everyone leaves everywhere, we will have to be here.
it's still quite tense. And just about an hour ago, we were walking from one area to another, and somebody threw a Molotov cocktail over the fence where we were, and the LA County sheriffs came rushing out. The guy's leg, actually, their pants caught on fire briefly as he tried to stamp it out, and they were trying to find out who was throwing Molotov cocktails at them. And we're near an area where earlier today, a few hours ago, there was a very large presence of ICE agents, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, in unmarked cars. And we've been told by some locals that there are factories around here where some migrants are still locked inside, afraid to come out. Most of California is a sanctuary, and it means that local law enforcement are not meant to cooperate with federal immigration officials. So a lot of lines are being crossed the last few days, though, at least the perception of it, as people see local law enforcement fanned out on the streets after they were called in to help immigration and customs federal officials to protect them. But locally, a lot of people just think they blend it into one and see it as cooperation and targeting the immigrant community.
ICE and LA have gone to war, with ICE reportedly starting it by using military-style force against protesters, which led to even more protesters showing up. Right yesterday, they conducted multiple sweeps around LA, which was the starting point for the clashes. With ICE wearing camouflage military tactical gear with military-style rifles, and they were riding in MRAPs. They also had their faces covered with no name tags or badge numbers. With reports saying they began throwing flashbangs, firing shotguns, shooting non-lethals at protesters, spraying pepper spray, and firing tons of tear gas. The LAPD then stepped in and declared the protest unlawful and began to disperse it. Right, and this is now the fourth city this week that ICE has encountered resistance from the people. Though it's unclear how much of the resistance is about deportations and how much of it is about ICE acting like an occupying military force. Right, and this is the MRAPs that ICE is using. They were designed for Iraq and Afghanistan, and the US military actually had to change how they use them because they found that locals often saw their presence as being very oppressive and that they instigated conflict. And you know, you're certainly seeing the same reaction here in the US, and the anonymity of these agents, it's only seeming to escalate it. But with that, you had the acting ICE director releasing a video today telling those criticizing ICE that he's demanding that they stop. But you also have a lot of people saying that if ICE got rid of the masks, they put their name tags back on and they dusted off the SUVs, that people would go back to ignoring them.
Trump, the administration, the Border Patrol, ICE, they know that they cannot go anywhere in this country where our people are and try to kidnap our workers, our people, and they can't do that without an organized and fierce resistance.
We're just here living, working. They stopped at Home Depot where they know that people are undocumented. So us as a community have came here to try to make peace so that they don't make families separate one another.
This is what they wanted. They wanted people to riot. They wanted the people to start fireworks. They wanted the people to start burning out. Why? Because this is the effect. So they can make us look bad. So they can make us seem that we're the ones causing this, that we started it. We didn't start this.